It is I, A10, greatest of the Ben 10 YouTubers, and I have returned. Alright, so I don't even know where to begin with this video since there's no script and I'm recording it like 20 minutes before I go to class. Basically, I'm trying to come back, but I've got a lot going on in my personal life and I wanted to discuss some of the changes I'm going to be making to the channel if I decide to come back. The first and most important change is that there's not going to be any more Ultimate Alien or Alien Force videos.
This is the worst show I've ever seen.
In case that meme didn't fill you guys in, basically, I'm not doing this because I like the shows or anything. I've just genuinely forgotten all about the sequel series and their continuity errors, but I do remember all the fans constantly hating on me for talking about said continuity errors, and have thus decided not to touch those shows. I may do some Omniverse content here and there, but even that show's kind of stained by the sequel fans. From here on out, it's gonna be classic Ben 10 if that's the show I decide to talk about. Which brings me to my next point. I hope not to talk about just classic Ben 10 from here on out, and instead branch out to other things. I'm not doing this because I hate Ben 10, but more so because I've run out of things to talk about with the sequels. However, that all being said, I do plan to talk about the comic, both before and after it releases. Before, I'll mainly be doing some speculation type videos, and talking about what I think the comic needs in order to succeed, / what I would like to see if the comic succeeds, and things I think they should bring back in said comics. Now, just so we're all clear here, my problem with Alien Force was never its continuity errors. I only say this because I assume people think that that's why I dislike the show. No, I simply disagreed with its writing, and thought that continuity errors were kind of a safe / unbiased thing to talk about. But now I see that even continuity errors are subject to interpretation like everything else regarding art. Things change, and I'm okay with that. I just don't like what the series changed into with the sequels. It became far too generic in the UAF era, and while Omniverse brought that spark of creativity back to the series, it wasn't enough in my opinion. But I'll talk more about all this when I go into my feelings on the comic, and what I think it needs to succeed. For now, this video is more clearing the air / letting go of the past, so to speak. I want to talk about the future of this channel, and all my ideas for it, if that makes sense. So, let's move on to my first idea. But first, before we get to that, there's something I'd like to talk about. You see, I recently got another comment under my Rooters Arc video about attacking Kuro. And because I'm leaving everything in the past, allow me to explain my problem with him in like a couple minutes, or however long this is gonna last. I look at Kuro the same way some people look at Ryan Reynolds and Sabrina Carpenter. I don't understand how or why these people are famous, and don't really have anything against them, and so I usually don't say anything hyper positive about them, and because of that, their fan base swoops in and absolutely fucking tries to decimate me. I guess the better example is probably Taylor Swift. You know, like, if you don't say anything positive, you're seen as a hater, and if you say something negative, or even perceived as negative, then you also get even more hate. And that's basically where I am with Kuro. Now, I did have actual problems with him in my Rooters Arc video, because like, he always pretends like Derek J. Wyatt wrote the show, and like, you just need to look at the credits, my guy, and see that it's the UA writers. Like, that's literally what I did for that video, and for all my Rooters Arc content. But anyways, basically, I don't care about Kuro, but I already know none of his fans are going to be convinced by that statement. So allow me to put it this way. Y'all know that Dan Boy Wonder guy that started blowing up because of his Ben 10 videos? Man, when I saw that, and I was admittedly off my meds and pretty upset in general, but man, I just started losing it. I was like, man, how can this guy blow up? Why can't I be this? Why can't I have a video get 60k views? If I was him, I'd be doing way better. I'd do this, and that. and I quickly realized I had to relearn the same lesson I'd been teaching myself since I was a teenager. It doesn't matter. These thoughts do not serve me. Dan is Dan, and A10 is A10. I gotta do what I like and what I enjoy, and just because it doesn't reach the same success doesn't mean I failed in some way. It just means my content didn't reach as many viewers. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is I've actually been jealous of a YouTuber before, and of people in general. Like the kids at my college that seem to party all night, every night. That shit makes me so jealous, or at least it used to. But now I've accepted that that's just not my life, and they do what they do, and I do what I do. Anyways, getting back to the point here is, I've actually been jealous of someone before, and know what that feels like, and can confidently say that that's not the same feeling I get when I talk about Kuro. And I don't think anything in that Rooters Arc video, or that original video with Kevin 11, which was pretty much just me giving my viewpoint on the situation, sounds like jealousy or hatred or anger in any way. And I honestly don't know where people get that idea. Again, it was just one comment, but I know there's more people out there that think that, so I figured I'd at least try to address it since I'm moving on from all that. But I suspect this segment will kind of do the opposite. But anyways, let's talk about some of the new stuff I'm going to be doing on this channel, shall we?
What is this, please?
Hello, I am Jarvis. You are Ultron, a global peacekeeping initiative designed by Mr. Stark.
Alright, the AI presidents are going to be making a comeback. Very, very soon, hopefully. See, basically, I told myself once that I would never buy anything else but the microphone until my YouTube channel blew up and I made money off it. We're actually closer than I ever would have thought to that becoming a reality, so I'm willing to drop the $5 to $10 for 11 Labs again. However, the only thing stopping me is the audio quality. I honestly don't know why it only comes out of one ear. I've tried screen recording it to make up for it, but it didn't work. So I'm guessing it's a mono file that I have to convert, but even when I do that, it still sounds like it's coming out of both ears for me. But the thing is, it sounds like that even before I convert it. So I don't know if it's working or not. So we're just gonna try and do a couple of test runs and see if it's something I want to keep around on this channel. As for my edits, I really enjoyed that malware edit I did that one time in that 19K viewed video. I tried it again with the Rooters Arc video, but it wasn't quite as good, and I've been wanting to redo it. And I wouldn't mind making a couple other edits for other series and for Ben 10. And I think it would actually help timeline wise, because like I said, I don't have a lot of free time anymore. I'm currently writing 2 papers as of recording this, and I skipped class just to be able to finish this video. So I am just behind on free time. So I think the edits will be a good way to keep content coming out without me having to come, sit down, turn off my air conditioning and all the other background noise, and record something for you guys. Instead, I can just pop in a few scenes from some of my favorite shows and edit them into something I think is cool and creative. So those are really the big changes. There's going to be less of me, at least for the time being, until I can really work out a good audio setup and maybe, hopefully, a webcam situation that allows me to record my face and make it look actually good and not terrible. We'll see. Those are the 3 biggest changes coming to this channel in, I want to say, a month. I have a break coming up, but I still have work to do during the break, and I'm going home for part of it, so I won't be able to record as much, but we'll see what happens. I hope to be up and running again in a month, maybe 2, and hopefully that's enough time for you guys. I apologize for forcing you guys to wait. It's just been a lot of nonsense on my end. I'm really excited to come back because creating content is just straight up fun, at least most of the time. And I hope to be able to channel that creative spark I once had again, because real life has not been very fun lately. I spent 3 years on this channel and wondered if it was all worth it at one point. And it's part of the reason I left, along with, timeline wise and everything. I didn't have a good schedule. But now I see that being creative is its own fun, and I'm going to be doing my best to channel that into this channel. But yeah, in conclusion, I am coming back and plan to be a lot more creative in my content this time around, as well as less negative. That's all for now, guys. I'll hopefully see you guys in less than a month if everything works out well. Till then, I hope you enjoy this video. And sorry for the footage being kind of scattershot. I'm trying to get this out as fast as possible. But anyways, see ya.